Okay, so now that we've logged in and we've come to the dashboard, what we're going to do is we're going to hover over pages on the left hand side here and click on all pages. Then these are all the pages that you've got on your websites. There's two pages, as you can see there. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to look for your home page. Now, how you distinguish with what page it is by looking here, home page. Now, what we've done there is we've gone under settings and told WordPress that Gabriels Funeral Services, this is the front page. So that's why it's saying front page there, and because we're going to build in Elementor, that's why it says Elementor there. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click and open in a new link with Elementor, which I already have open here. This is your front page that you currently see. This top section here is your header. We will cover that in another video. But as you can see here, you've got when you move over items, you see you've got these little things that appear. They're like rows and columns. So what we'll do is, if you can see the blue one, if we click on the little dots, if we click here, it's going to add another row. See, as it says add section. If we click onto the 6 dots, it's going to bring up the section. And as you can see there, we can play around with what we want it to be. So we'll make that back full width. Okay, so, and then obviously the X means close, delete. So if you click the X, you'll be deleting that row. As you go over, you'll see there's like a little gray button here. It's column. That is your column width. So if you wanted to make it a bit different, if you wanted to add another column in, so you can go right click on it and duplicate. And there you go. Now you've just duplicated it and you've got effectively 2 little sliders in there. Then once you've got 2 columns, you can actually drag. Let's just take that. You'll be able to drag. You can see like that. So you can do different sections for it if you want. Let's just remove this here. Okay, so that's how you edit your row and column. Now basically your row and your columns are exactly the same. The only thing that changes is the way that you've styled it. So it could be full width, could be boxed. You could have, this has got 1 column. You can have 5 columns, 6 columns. It all depends on how you style it then. As you can see, you can move it around then, and it all depends on what you want to do. So every function is exactly the same. It's just what are you using it for, that you'll play around with the settings. Okay, so to edit this celebrating life one family at a time, right, you're just easiest way to do it is round about the middle of the column is right click and go edit slides. And as you can see on the left hand side here, your slides will appear. So if we click on celebrating life, there's your image, which you can either upload an image or you can choose an image from the gallery. Now remember, the images, they must be a decent size, but they must be roughly half a megabyte. Okay, because obviously the bigger the image is, right, the longer the loading time it's going to be for the user, and the user is going to get more data being chowed up by that. So that's why we keep it at about 300 to 500 kilobits. So if you wanted to change the content, there's celebrating life today. As you can see, it's added the word in today because you've typed it in. If you want to change this section, you would put it there. You'd write in here hello. As you can see, it's writing in there hello. Button text, you can, as you can see, if we just, it changes the button. This here is a link to your shop, so that is where people can buy the packages, the premium gold that's been set up for you. So to edit that link, what you would do is you would go to your website, go to that page, you would click on the link at the top, copy it and paste it in there. And that's how you set up a button. The style, you can just change it like that. See? So it's entirely up to you how you style the site then. Now that obviously affects every section. What you do on the one slide, it's the same thing you do on another slide. It's just different content that you put in. If you wanted to change the height, as you can see there, you see, so we'll just put that back to 600. Slider options, pause on hover. So yes, as you can see, once I hover over it, the slider will pause so that people can read it. If I take the slider off, it will start sliding again. This is the speed, and you can just play around with however you want it. This is your column width. You can just play around and see all the different settings. The beauty of it is that you can play around, get what you like in, okay, and then if you like what you're looking at, then update. If you don't want to update, all you do is you just refresh the page and it will ask to reload. You go yes, and it will undo all the changes you've made. Right, so that's row 1. Row 2, you'll see here, is actually over. This is where we use margin. So you click on this 4 dots here and you go advanced, and as you can see, we've got it at -117. If we had to make that take it back to 0, as you can see, it's moving them down like that, just like that. So that's how we got it looking like it's overlapping. Again, it's the same row, it's just a little bit smaller now. It's just a little bit smaller than the other one. It's the same. This one is a boxed. If we wanted to make it full width, you can make it full width, you know. So it's entirely up to you what you want it to be. The style, there you can put a background overlay, or if you want to put a background on it, you see now it's got a background there. It can be white, it can be whatever you want, but we obviously want it to be transparent so that you can see the image behind, so it looks like it's got that overlap effect. Here's your margin, as we said, your padding effects, the way it positioned, you'll see there. And what it's doing is it's effectively just making the gap between the row and the columns bigger. Alright, so now that is again the row. Column, now this has got 3 columns in, where the first row has got only 1 column. So same thing applies. You just change the image there. There's the bottom right. This is a button that we used. And as you can see, it's all these widgets are just title widgets, and you can go in and you can play around. You can, if you want to change the color of it, you'll go to style, text color, and you can, as you can see, just drag and drop the color that you want. And again, the nice thing is and obviously we're not going to be saving this, so let's say you want that red now. If you right click on that little pencil and go copy, and come to this column and click on the pencil, right click and go paste style, you can see it will copy over. That will copy over the size in the font and the color. It won't change the wording, it will just copy the style over, which is a nice factor to have, because if you've got 3 columns or 4 columns that look the same, you can just copy and paste it across. This section here is just rows again. As you can see, it's just rows with the intersection that you can play around with. Remember, the nice thing is that it's basically the same thing, it's just a different configurations you have. So this section here is, we've got it hidden, so it's hidden, so we're going to go advanced, we'll go down to responsive, and as you can see, it's got hide. So if we take it off, now these functions are optional again. Right, so I'll just hide it. Okay, this section here, again, it's a row with a background on it. There's your background there. This one here, go to the column. We've got a background with a column, but what we've done is we've kind of made it a bit transparent, as you can see there. So you can kind of see it. That's all we've done there. And then that's your heading widget. Here is your intersection. So your intersection will put columns within a column. Makes it nicer. So you've got 1 column here, then you can have 3 different columns dividing up. So if we click here, as you can see, it's just a text editor, and you can type in what you want in there. And if you click that little toolbar toggle, you actually get more options there. So you've got your center, your right, or whatever you want it to be. Okay, this is what we call a form. So now this is just an email form. As you can see here, we've got an item, text, name, contact number, and then send. So now that email is going to be sent to info@gabriels.co.za. So that's like a quick callback function, which is nice to have. So here again, this section here is very similar to this section. It's just been broken up a bit differently. So you've got your one column, you've got your inner section, and you've got another inner section, which makes it two columns here, as you can see. Okay, so again, you click on it, there's your text icon there. You can put in whatever you want. Same thing applies for the silver package. Alright, this section here we'll remove that, and then that's it. That is your front page. Now the beauty of Elementor, and this is why we build with Elementor, is that editing a page, the way you edit this page is the same way as you edit your About Us, your gallery. It's just different widgets. Now to access those different widgets is actually very, very simple. What you'll do is when you've loaded a page, you'll see here you've got your like a little menu, 3 lines, and that will give you the menu of your page. Then you've got like a little Rubik's Cube. If you click on that, these are all your widgets that can be used on your website. Okay, all of them are available. So if you wanted to add a form in, like an email form, you would go to search and you type in form. And then here's all the different forms that you can use. So you can play around, choose one, and all you do is, let's come down here to this one here. Right, all we do is let's just drag this one here. As you can see, you see that blue line appears, you drag it in. And then there it gives you the options. Okay, so let's try that. Let's try another one again. So this is the standard one here, so we'll just drag it in here, and then there's the forms there. You can play around with what you want in label, take the label out. You can make this please. As you can see, please is appearing here, please is appearing there. So let's just go to style, and with the label now, because that's what we made and we want to make it white. There you go, now you can see. So you can say, for example, please give me your name, and then you go name here. Now you're given an example of where it needs to be, and you can add items here. So you can see here, so if you want it to be a select, radio, whatever you want to add there, you can add them there. Best thing is to go and play around and get a feel of what you want in the site to look like. But that's how you would add anything to the website. If you want to add a button, you would just drag the button in here. And there you go. Now you can make it full width. You would obviously link your page. You would put here my new button. Let's just get the spelling right. My new button. We can go spacing if we want an icon. If we click on style, we can go color background. We'll make it black. We'll make the text red, for example. And then if we go to hover, we can go text. We want black, and background. Let's just put the background as red, so it's going to invert. And then we can give it an animation, so we can make it pop. See there, every time. Or if we wanted to just pulse grow. See, so now it's giving a bit more animation to your website. And that's it really on how to edit and add widgets on the front page.